Hello everyone. Today we're going to design a character that can be printed on a 3D printer. And to do that, we're going to use a website called tinkercad.com. So this is a free website if you want to make your own account and do some practicing at home. But for today, we're just going to make something together. So I'm going to sign in. And it's a really cool website. You can make all kinds of cool things. And it's basically a way to design what you want your object to look like before you print it on the 3D printer at the library. So we'll sign in. So as soon as you sign in, you get to your dashboard, which looks like this. And this is the gallery of different things that people have made in the past. And today we're going to create this character. So it's a kid with a baseball cap and a jetpack and arms and legs. So we're going to try to build that today. So when you want to create a new design, you press this button right here, Create New Design. And this will open up your workspace. So you have your work plane where you do your actual building. You have a couple tools over here to zoom in and zoom out. And you also have this tool up here, which you can use to look at your design from different points of view. And this comes in handy because sometimes you might think that one of your shapes is where you want it to be, but then when you look at it from another point of view, you see that it might be a little off center, or you need to move it a little bit. So this is a really good tool to use as you're building. And we also have our shapes over here. All different kinds of shapes that we can use. And today we're going to work off of a drawing that I made right here. So this was my first draft of what I wanted my character to look like. So we can use this to decide which shapes we're going to need. So it looks like for the head, we're going to need a sphere. The body, some kind of box shape. And let's see, the hat, we need some kind of shape for, and we also need a shape for the jetpack. So let's see. We have a sphere right there. We also have a box, so we can use that for the body. Let's see. I'll use a cylinder for the jetpack. And we need a hat too. Yeah, we use this shape for the hat. So let's start with these, and we can make the main part of the body right here. Then we can add the arms and legs after. So for the body, I'm going to use the box shape. So when you have a shape over on your work plane, you can do a few different things to it. So you can click it and move it around. And you can also change the shape, the size of it, using these corner buttons right here. So this is used to make it bigger or smaller. You can also use this middle button right here to make it taller or shorter. So I think I'm going to make it a little bit taller like that. You can also change the shape by clicking on it and then using the options over here. So I'm going to turn the radius up just a little bit. And it makes the edges a little rounder. Now we have to put the head on top of the body. So if you notice, if I bring the sphere over here, no matter how much I move it, it only stays at the very bottom like this. And that's because when you click and move it around, it only goes in these dimensions. It doesn't go up. Doesn't go up in the air. So to do that, we need to do something special. We're going to click on the shape, and we're going to use this cone shape button right here. You click on that, hold it, and drag it. It raises it off the ground. And you can see it better from this angle. It goes up and down. So I bring that up to about where I want the head to be. And I think that looks good. Let's double check to make sure it's where we want it to be. And it looks like it's a little off center. So move it over. That looks pretty good. All right, so we have the head and the body. Now we need to add the hat. So I have my half sphere right here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click on the shape, use the cone shape to raise it off the ground, and make sure it's lined up. Raise up a little bit more. All right, let's see how that looks. Looks pretty good. All right, I need the front of the hat too. So I think what I'm going to do is use the same shape, but just make another copy of it. So to do that, I'm going to click the shape, and I'm going to go up to this button here, duplicate. Click that, it makes another copy of it. So just click and drag it over, and there it is. I'm going to use this button again, but instead of making it taller, I'm going to make it a little flatter, like this. And look, we have a hat. Now we need to add the jetpack. Now I could just put it right back here, and that would look fine, but I think what I want to do is raise it off the ground a little bit. Not too much, but just so it's a little closer to the shoulders. And I think I want to make it a little narrower like that. All right. And then maybe just move it back a little bit like this, so it's center. Cool. That's our main part of the body. So right now I want to group everything together just so we don't lose any of our work. So we can click a square around it, go up to the group button, and that will group all of the shapes together so that they move around together. There we go. So now that acts as just one shape. All right, so let's check our picture again and see what else we need. So we need to add the arms and the legs. Let's see. Now I think a good shape for the arms and legs would be the cylinder, kind of like what we used for the jetpack. But now, for the arms and legs, we probably need to make them a little skinnier like this. If you notice, as you change the size of a shape, these numbers right here will change. So you can keep track of how big and how small you're making it. Looks pretty good. And now, remember how we used the cone button to raise the head off the ground? Now we're going to use that to raise the whole body off the ground so we can fit our legs in. Go. Probably a little bit more. There we go. Now we can move the leg underneath like that. Probably make it a little taller so it's connected to the body. Whoop. And move it too far away. There we go. Try that again. Looks good. We'll move that over a little bit. So now I want the other leg to be the same size, so I can just make another copy of this. So you click on the shape, press the duplicate button again, and move it over like this. Perfect, now we have some legs. And while we're here, we might as well do the arms too, because it'll probably be the same shape. So click that, we can make another copy. Bring that over there. Do the same thing on the other side. Duplicate. There we go. And then we'll make the arms a little higher up in the air. So we use the cone shape again. And there we go. If you notice, they're kind of floating out here by themselves. They're not connected to the body yet. And if we look in our picture, kind of at an angle, right? It's kind of going off like this. It's not completely up and down. So there's another way to move shapes around, and that's to rotate them like this. So if you notice these little curved arrows, if you press one of these, you can turn the shape a little bit like that. And you can do the same thing on the other side. Move the arm a little bit, and then do that on the other side. Now if you look at it, his arms are kind of coming down at his side, and they're connected to the body. All right, let's group this together. And let's see, any other details we need to add? Ooh, we need to add the shoes. So I think I'm going to use the half sphere, just like we used for the hat, but I'm going to make these a little smaller. I'll click and drag these in. So make it a little shorter. Right there. And then I'll make another copy of that. for the other shoe. Perfect. Now our last detail is the fire coming out of the jetpack. So we have a couple different options for that. Let's decide what we want to do. I think I'm going to use the cone shape. So I bring that over there. I'm going to change the top radius a little bit so that it's a little wider. And now we can use the rotate button to flip it on the other side. If you notice, it changes the degrees, keeps track of how many degrees you're turning. So let's see, 90 degrees. I think I'm going to go all the way on the other side, 180 degrees. So we're turning it all the way around like that. Perfect. Now make it a little smaller. Now we'll bring that over there, this. And whoop. Raise this up a little bit. And then I'll make another copy of that. Bring it over like this. Alright, so let's double check to make sure everything's connected. That looks good. It's always good to check because sometimes things aren't touching anything when you want them to be touching. Alright, and that looks good. So now we can group this whole thing together and see how it comes out. Very cool. So this is our character. So what we would do from here, if we were at the library, is we would load this into a memory card, put that memory card in the 3D printer, and then the printer knows how to create it into an object. So you can do all kinds of things. You can use different shapes over here. You can use words. You can use the empty space to carve things out. So I can show those in another video. But for now, this would be a really cool character to print. So thank you so much for joining, everybody. If you want to follow the next video, we can make something really cool next time. And I hope you have fun with this website. It's really fun to play around and make different things. Thank you.